Hello everyone, this is part 2 of What If Naruto was in Sword Art Online, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Floor 1. Mysterious Cave. After the incident in Hill of Memories, Naruto has decided to return to his master house in order to complete his training. He is currently standing before his master with resolve in his eyes. Seijiro just looks at him and nods his head. Seems you don't have doubts anymore. That's good. Alright, I will teach you the last technique of Hiten Mitsurugi. The technique that strike with Godspeed at all 9 vital points of the opponents at once. Kujoyusen. Naruto raise his hand up to ask, Sensei, can this technique being evade? Seijiro nod his head and said, yes, your opponent can evade this technique, but only if he is faster than you. Then Naruto ask again, is there any boss that can evade this technique? Yes, there is one that even faster than me. And you must face him after you master the Kujoyusen. No one has ever go there to challenge him, as his speed and power is ridiculous. But you need to go there, as by only going there, you will experience the border between life and death too. Execute Amikakeru Ru no Haramaki flawlessly. This is do or die situation, Naruto. If you failed to perform Amikakeru Ru no Hirameki, you will die in instant. That boss is the only boss that no players has ever dared to even step close to his base. Naruto looking at the ground thinking for a while. After hearing that he need to defeat such a powerful boss in his own, he began to doubt his ability. What if he failed to perform Amikakeru Ru no Hirameki? What if he don't even a slight chance at defeating that boss? Then Naruto shaking away those thoughts and harden his eyes. I won't fail. I can't fail. For the sake of my friends and 4,000 players remain. Seijiro seeing this, smirked and said, you have guts, my apprentice. I am proud to call you my student. After mastering Kujoyusen, I will show you the movements of Amikakeru Ru no Hirameki. But the condition to execute this move is to be on the border of life and death. The location of the boss is on the 60th floor, the demon's castle. There you will need to defeat the boss by the name Sakaki Kojiro, the demon general samurai. Will there be minions or sentinels? Asked Naruto. No. There will be only the boss. But that will be enough to destroy any players, as his speed and strength is insane. But for reward, if you able to defeat him, you will obtain the legendary sword, Kusanagi no Tsurugi. The legendary blade that is unbreakable and is the strongest katana. Then let our training begin, sensei, said Naruto. With that, Seijiro begin to teach Naruto THS last technique of Hiten Mitsurugi Ru. Time skip. 2 weeks later. After 2 weeks of constant training, Naruto is finally able to master Kujoyusen. Right now he is in the garden practice on the logs. Suddenly, Seijiro come out of the house, turned to Naruto and said, that's enough for today, said Seijiro, then calls Naruto to come and sit near him. Are you ready to go to 60th floor? You cannot go there if you think you are not ready. Naruto turned to Seijiro and said with determined expression, no, I am ready. I will go there and defeat the boss, to complete my training. Seijiro take a sip from his bottle and look ahead. Then I wish you good luck. If you manage to survive, come to me and we will celebrate. Of course, sensei. Scene change. Floor 60. Demon's Castle. Naruto went in the demon's castle and walking ahead. After a while of walking, he is standing before a huge arena and there is a shadow far behind sitting on the throne. The shadow seeing there is an intruder begin to stand up. Then he walk forward to the arena to see who is the intruder. When he is in the range of sight, Naruto saw that he is a demon, wearing a red full armor of samurai with a very long sword in his hand. The demon seeing Naruto is standing at his arena and ask, what are you doing here, weakling? You dare to intrude in my territory. Don't you know who I am? Naruto just looking at the boss and answered, you are Sakaki Kojiro, the demon general samurai. But I am surprised that you can actually talk, as the other bosses Can't. The boss just looks down at Naruto and said arrogantly. Knowing that and still coming here. You really has a dead wish. So I think I will make your wish come true, you foolish human. With that Kojiro charged forward at blurred speed at Naruto. Man, sensei didn't lie, his speed really is insane, muttered Naruto, sweet dropping nervously. Kojiro appeared in front of Naruto and slashed horizontally, trying to take off Naruto's head. Naruto jumped back to a decent distance, pointing the tip of his blade to the ground, so that it touches the ground, then slash up. Hiten Mitsurugi Ru Doryusen. The earthen debris of Doryusen coming at Kojiro with knockout forces. But Kojiro suddenly disappeared before the strike could reach him. Naruto is looking around, upward then downward. Suddenly, he feels the wind blowing up at the back of his head, so he immediately lied down on his stomach to avoid the hit from behind. Kojiro appeared in midair and trying to cut Naruto in half. Naruto jumped forward to Kojiro to perform Ryoshosen and strike him in the jaw, sending him to the ceiling. Because Kojiro is a powerful boss, he only have 1 bar of HP. The Ryoshosen has causes him to lose 1/5 of his life. Kojiro in rage entered berserk mode and began to crush everything in his way. In berserk mode, his eyes glowing red. Also his instinct became top-notch. Naruto used Usozen, trying to confuse the boss with massive flurry of strikes. But Kojiro managed to dodge easily. Then he jumped to the ceiling. Used the force of the ceiling where he landed, to push himself at Naruto with insane speed. It was so fast, that Naruto only feels the wind blowing past him. Then he feels an intense pain at his back. Naruto cry out in pain, rolling away from his opponent and look at his HP bar and seeing his HP is in yellow zone border on red zone. So this is the strength of the fastest boss in Sao. I begin to doubt myself that I can defeat him, said Naruto to himself. Panting heavily, Kojiro just looked down at Naruto with his red eyes smirking mockingly. Naruto just glared at him and began to slowly stand up. Kojiro, seeing that Naruto has no intentions to give up, charge at him. Naruto closed his eyes to feel his opponents. When Kojiro is about to strike, he sidestep, jump past him and begin to spin. Hiten Mitsurugi Ru Ryukansen. The strike delivered to the back of Kojiro, sending him flying to the demon's general throne, destroying it. Naruto look at the boss HP bar and seeing it has lost 3/5 health. Naruto immediately fall to his knees and panting heavily. His body is shaking badly. Kojiro begin to stand up and roar in rage. Then he turned to Naruto and roar even louder. Naruto looking at him panting, with his eyes half closed. Kojiro suddenly gather the energy in his sword, cause it to glow dark red color. Then he slash the air to the direction of Naruto and shout, Getsuga, Tenshu. Naruto seeing the huge crescent energy wave coming, widen his eyes and try to dodge, but he is too tired to move. Naruto decide to use 30 of his potion at once, hoping to survive the attack. The strike hit him and send him flying far away. Ah! Screamed Naruto as he sent flying by the shock wave. Naruto lying in the ground looking at his HP and see that he only has 800 HP left. Kojiro seeing his opponent is helpless, immediately charge forward to finish him off. Naruto barely able to stand looking up at Kojiro with one eye. It's now or never. This moment will decide wherever I will live or die. Kojiro swing his sword with intention to cut off Naruto's head. Naruto stand back up and change to Batojutsu stance. Then he perform the normal Batojutsu strike but add another step. Mid-draw with leading foot adjacent to the sheath. Then suddenly there is a twinkle star coming from the moment too. Sword was unsheathing. In a blink of an eye Naruto swing the sword and cut Kojiro in half diagonally. Amakakeru Ru no Hirameki. Kojiro couldn't notice anything, until the strike hit him. Then he looked down and roar in rage. His HP is slowly dropping to 0. Naruto standing with his back turned to the boss breathing heavily. Then he heard the sound of glass shattering. After that a panel appeared before him. Congratulations. You have defeat Sakaki Kojiro, the demon General Samurai. Then Naruto opened his inventory and saw a legendary sword. Kusanagi no Tsurugi was there. He just smiled tiredly, then looked up at the sky and said, Sensei, I've succeed. With that he black out. Floor 57. Restaurant. During the past time, Asuna has joined a guild by the name Knights of Blood Oath and became the vice commander. She and Kirito is sitting at the restaurant waiting for their meal. After they discovered the fake method of murdering in the safe area, they have returned there. Have you seen Naruto recently? Asked Asuna looking at Kirito. Kirito just shook his head and answered, no, I have written him many times, but never received the answer back. I think he is being affected by the decision of killing PK players. Some people had saw him, but they just avoid him like a plague because of his title as Hitokiri Batasai, said Asuna. Suddenly, one player run in the restaurant and shout, have you heard the rumor that the demon general has been defeated? Everyone in the restaurant began to widen their eyes then. Begin-O murmured to themselves discussing is that actually true or just a rumor? Who had defeated him? He is the fastest boss in Sao. Who managed to defeat him? Asked one player sitting at the table. Some people training there said they had seen Hitokiri Batasai went to the demon's castle. People begin to murmur again. Kirito and Asuna hearing that widen their eyes. Then Asuna stand up and shout. Did he insane? Why the heck did he go there? He could have died. Kirito thought for a while then decide to replied. But if he alone can defeat that boss, then he really is amazing. But I knew for sure that he is barely alive right now. Then they both receive a message from Naruto. They look at it and smiled. The message said, I have complete my training. From now on I will join the clearing party to help clear this accused game. Kirito and Asuna closed the message and look at each other. He have decided to join the clearing party, said Asuna smiling. Yeah, with him now we will clear the floors more faster and eventually we'll clear the game, said Kirito smiling as well. Kirito and Asuna looked out of the window and thought, we will be waiting for you, Naruto. June 24, 2024. Floor 48, Town. After visiting his master and celebrate the victory over the demon general, Naruto wrote a message to Kirito to ask his location. Kirito said that just meet him in a place called Lisbeth Smith shop. So he is heading to that place right now. Like usual people begin to avoid him but there are still some people looking at him in awe, as he single-handedly managed to defeat the fastest boss in Sao. After a while of walking, he finally able to find the place. Looking at the door for a minute he decide to come in. Lisbeth Smith shop. When Naruto came in, he saw the person in black cloak is looking at the weapons, trying to choose the suitable sword for him. Naruto immediately recognized him as Kirito. Smirking evilly, Naruto decided to silently come near Kirito then scared him. Boo! Kirito is searching intently for the suitable sword until he suddenly heard a voice from behind him. Ah! Screamed Kirito in surprise and jumped to the ceiling. When he landed he turned around and saw Naruto laughing out loud while holding his stomach. Kirito just turned around and glared at him playfully. We haven't seen each other live forever and the first thing you do is scare the shit out of me. Naruto's laughing has died down and he said, yeah, it's been a while Kirito. Where is Asuna? I think she is with you right now, asked Naruto tilt his head aside. She is busy with her duty as a vice commander of Knights of Blood Oath. But she will meet up with us tomorrow, answered Kirito looking at the swords around the shop. Before I forget, how did you manage to defeat the demon general anyway? Asked Kirito curiously turned to Naruto. It was not easy at all. I nearly died fighting him. But to execute my ultimate technique, I need to be put in the condition bordering between life and death. That was the gamble with death. If I couldn't perform that technique then I will be dead for sure, said Naruto remembering the hardest battle he had ever fought. You know, after that incident you've become even more famous, said Kirito smirking at Naruto. Naruto just rubbing his forehead and muttered. So troublesome. What are doing here anyway? Asked Naruto looking at Kirito. Oh, I just need one more sword. I am looking for a while but can't find anything suitable for me. Suddenly the doorway behind the cellar cabin open. The girl with short shoulder-length hair come in and see the customers are waiting for her. Welcome to Lisbeth Smith shop. How can I help you too? Said Lisbeth smiling then she looks at Naruto and widen her eyes. The Hitokiri Batasai is here. Naruto just sweet drop anime style and whisper to Kirito. Am I such famous now? Kirito just nodded his head, then turned to Lisbeth and said, I would like to order a custom-made sword. Lisbeth looks sideways at Kirito's clothing and wonder if he had enough cash to pay. Is something wrong? Asked Naruto looking at Lisbeth. No, it's just that the price on metals are pretty high right now, answered Lisbeth. Don't worry about the cost. I just need the best sword that you can make, said Kirito. Could you give me the idea of stats that you can looking for? Asked Lisbeth. If you need the best sword then you can use the stats of this, said Naruto. Took out the Kusanagi no Tsurugi from the sheath and place it on the table. Kirito just look in wonder, so is Lisbeth. The legendary blade is in front of them right now and that is unbelievable. So you really managed to obtain it? I thought the rumor of this blade is just rumor, said Kirito looking at Kusanagi. Lisbeth turned to Naruto with wide eyes and asked, so you really managed to defeat the demon general? I thought that was just a rumor, but seeing this blade in front of my eyes had cleared any doubt. How strong are you to achieve something like that? Naruto just scratched his head and said, it was need to complete my training, so the Kusanagi is just a bonus. Anyway, use the stats of Kusanagi to forge a new weapon for Kirito. Lisbeth looking at Kusanagi for a minute, then turned back and picked one of the swords there. How about this one? Asked Lisbeth, giving Kirito the sword. Kirito take it and begin to do some experience swing. This sword is the best sword I ever made, said Lisbeth proudly. It's a little light, muttered Kirito. I used a speed-type metal to create it, said Lisbeth. Naruto take the sword away from Kirito and turned to his Kusanagi. Let's test it for durability. If it can withstand one strike from Kusanagi, then I will approve, said Naruto. Raised Kusanagi up. Then he strike at Lisbeth's sword. Lisbeth's sword was break with ease. Lisbeth just looking at the broken blade with wide eyes, then turned to Naruto and glare at him. You dare to break my sword? Now you should pay for it. Naruto hearing that glared back. Huh, why should I need to pay for that blade? That blade broke because its durability is so weak that it can't withstand one strike from Kusanagi. Lisbeth just turned her head away with a ha and said, just because your sword is the Kusanagi, and you so full of yourself. If I have a materials, I can make a blade that can fought equal with Kusanagi. Of course, the durability will not be unbreakable, but it will withstood your Kusanagi for hours. Naruto just looking at her with challenging eyes. Ho, you are so sure of yourself that you could make the sword that could fought with Kusanagi for hours. I'd like to see you create something like that. Lisbeth is looking back at Naruto with a smirk. To make things interesting, let's make a bet. Naruto hearing that tilt his head aside and ask, what kind of bet? If you lose, then you will be my servant for life. And if I lose, then vice versa. So what do you say? Proposed Lisbeth smirking. Naruto looked down to think for a while. Seeing he did not reply, Lisbeth said mockingly, oh, the big bad Batasai is scared of losing. I think you didn't fear anything. With that, Naruto immediately snapped back from his thought and turned to Lisbeth and glare. I don't scare of anything. Don't come begging to release yourself when I win the bet. Alright, you're on. Kirito is looking at the both of them, as they are arguing. Anno. They turned to Kirito to see what he wanted. It actually concern about the creation of my sword. I think I will go to for the materials. But he was interrupted by Lisbeth. No way. You don't even know where the materials are. And because of the bet we made, me and that annoying Batasai are going to pick up the materials. Naruto hearing she called him annoying shout back. Hey, who do you call annoying, you Pinky? Lisbeth hearing him calls her Pinky snapped back. Ha, how dare you calls me Pinky? When I win the bet, I am going to make you clean this shop until it is shining bright. Kirito just looks at them sweet drop anime style. You two act just like old married couple. They both heard that, turned to Kirito and said at the same time. We are not married couple. Who the heck would like to marry someone like him, her? Kirito just laughs nervously at the scene before him. Anyway, Blondie, you band me are going to the floor 55, on the western mountain to collect the materials. There's supposed to be a dragon living there. According to the rumor, it builds up a rare metal on its body, said Lisbeth pointing at Naruto. Naruto put down her finger and said, Oi, don't call me Blondie. That's annoying. I have a name, you know. It's Naruto, Miss Pinky. She just bonked Naruto in the head and said annoyed. I am Lisbeth. From now on use that name or else I am gonna pound you to the ground each time you calls me Pinky. Naruto rub his head and looking fearfully at her burning eyes. Kirito looking at the scene barely able to hold himself from laugh at Naruto. Floor 55. Western Mountain. Naruto and Lisbeth is walking silently to the destination. But Lisbeth is sneezing a very minute. Naruto just looks at her with a sigh and asks, "Don't you have anything warmer to wear? Who the heck knows that the 55th floor will be so cold?" Naruto sigh once more and open his inventory to give her a coat made of fox's fur. She wears the coat on, then looks at Naruto's state of dress and asks, "Don't you need this too?" Naruto turned to her and said, "Don't worry about me. I am used to this level of cold." Then Naruto proceed to go ahead of her. Lisbeth looked at Naruto and thought, "I can't believe I am alone with a guy in this kind of place. But he can be caring when he is not a jerk." Then she heard Naruto's voice ahead of her. "Oi, what are doing there? Sleeping? Or are you scared of the dragon?" Lisbeth immediately erases her thought about Naruto being caring and yells in rage. "Who the heck tell you I am scared? I am going to pound you to the ground for that comment." With that, Lisbeth running forward to catch up to Naruto and to bonk him in the head. "What's that for?" asked Naruto rubbing his head. "That's for being a jerk," said Lisbeth, turn her head away with a ha and walk ahead of him. Naruto still rubbing his head and looking at her back annoyed. Time skip. After walking for a while, they have find the field full of crystals. Lisbeth is looking at the field in wonder. It's so beautiful. Just as she about to run forward, she was held by the back of her coat by Naruto. "What the heck do you think you are doing?" Naruto looks at her seriously and said, "Get the teleport crystal ready. I'll take care the rest from there. Once the dragon appeared, you immediately hide in the shadows of the crystals. Don't come out." "What? I am no newbie. I want to help," complained Lisbeth, but she was interrupted by Naruto. "No, I have killed the demon general alone, so I will be fine. But if something happened to you." After the said, Naruto turned his head away. Lisbeth just looking at him surprised that he snapped at her like that. "He did care about me," thought Lisbeth smiling warmly, and her heart began to beat a little faster. Lisbeth nodded her head silently. "Well, let's get going then," said Naruto, then come in front of her to rub her head and grin tidily. Lisbeth looked at his grinning face and blush a little. Suddenly, they heard a dragon's roar. Naruto immediately ordered to Lisbeth to hide. She just nodded and did what she was told. That moment the dragon decided to reveal itself. It was a huge aqua dragon with crystals on its back. It looks at the intruder and prepare a breath attack to destroy the intruder. Lisbeth have enough time to warn Naruto about the breath attack. Naruto used Doryusen to deflect the breath attack. When the dragon charged forward at him, he also jumped to the dragon but avoid him a little so that him jump past him and begin to spin. Hitten Mitsurugi Ru Ryukansen. With that the dragon was hit at the back its neck and roar in pain. Using the momentum when he land on the mountain, to immediately rush at the dragon. Hitten Mugen Zan. The dragon couldn't catch up with Naruto's speed and as a result one of its arms was cut off. Lisbeth just looks at the battle in wonder, as the dragon can't even scratch Naruto. Amazing. Who the heck is he that can stand up to a dragon? Go on and finished him off quickly. Idiot. Don't come out, he is still very dangerous, shouted Naruto. The dragon looks aside and notice there is one more intruder. "Huh, is it over already?" asked Lisbeth, but she was interrupted by a very strong wind caused by the wing attack of the dragon. Lisbeth seeing that decide to run. But the wing attack was so powerful that it blasted her to the huge hole there. Naruto seeing widen his eyes immediately rushed to her. Lisbeth began to fall to the deep hole screaming. Suddenly, she felt someone catching her wrist, looked up and saw Naruto is the one. "Liz, hang on." Then he embraced her and they begin to fall down. Lisbeth feels the warmth of his chest begin to nuzzle in even more. At the bottom of the hole, Lisbeth opening her eyes to see she is lying in Naruto's chest. Feeling the warmth she nuzzle in it. But the voice of Naruto snapped her back. "You are alive. How long are you gonna nuzzle in my chest like that?" Lisbeth hearing that immediately back away from him and blushed heavily. Then she muttered, "Yeah, I am alive. Thank you for saving me. It's early for thanking me. We need to find a way to get out of here," said Naruto looks up around. "Can't we just use the crystal to teleport back?" asked Lisbeth and brought the crystal activate it to return back. But it was no use. "Seems we can't use teleport crystals here. That means there is another way to escape," said Naruto brought his knuckle to his chin. You can't know for sure. It can be a trap to kill anyone who falls into it, said Lisbeth worriedly. Naruto looks at her and tilts his head to the side. Yeah, I didn't think of that. But that may be true too. Hey, at least try to cheer me up. Lisbeth snapped at Naruto. Naruto thinks for a minute, then clicks his fingers and said, I have an idea. And what is that idea? To run up the walls. Lisbeth just looks at Naruto like he is an idiot. Are you an idiot? How do you expect to run up from this far? Naruto looks at her annoyed, then said, if we don't try, we can't be sure. With that he began to run up the walls with impressive speed. But when he has nearly managed to get out, he slips back and begin to fall back. Lisbeth looked down at Naruto, as he laying in the snow ground. I've told you already, there is no way you can run up from this far. Naruto just turned his head away. Time skip. At night. Lisbeth and Naruto is lying in their futon looking at the sky. What a strange feeling, I am lying on the ground with the guy the first barely know in an unknown place. There is no way it will happen in real life, said Lisbeth looking up at the sky. Then Lisbeth turned to Naruto and smirked. Also to think that you are stupid enough to try to escape from this place by running up. You sure is a weirdo. Naruto just rolls his eyes and muttered. Well, sorry for that. Lisbeth just smiled at him. Then remembered something and asked Naruto. Hey, Naruto, why did you decide to save me, back then? Naruto looks at her with not understand why she asked that. Did I really need a reason to save a person? Lisbeth just widened her eyes at the answer, then smiling warmly. You know, it's rare to see an idiot like you to do something and to asking anything in return. Naruto just looks at her annoyed and said. Just stop calling me idiot already. Lisbeth just laughed heartily. Then the wind began to blow harsher, Lisbeth began to shiver. Naruto seeing that come near her and embrace from behind. Lisbeth feels Naruto embrace, turn to him and shout with a red face. What do you think you are doing, pervert? Naruto just looks at her and said. The temperature has become colder. So I am sharing the body heat with you. Lisbeth's face still red, she opens her mouth to retort, then closed her mouth and muttered. Just hold me tighter. Naruto and Lisbeth then lied down facing each other in one futon. Lisbeth smiling warmly at Naruto. She think for a minute then decide to said. Hey, Naruto. Naruto opens his eyes and ask. What? Lisbeth began to blush at what she was about to say, but still said. I want to change the condition of the bet. Naruto looks interested at this and asks. What do you want to change? Lisbeth began to blush even harder and began to stutter. If I am gonna win the bet, then you must marry me, Naruto. She shouts with a red face at the end of the sentence. Naruto's eyes widen like a dinner plate and begin to stutter too. What? Why you suddenly decide that? Lisbeth looking shyly at Naruto with a red face then leans in Naruto's face and kiss him. Naruto widen his eyes but return the kiss. When she broke the kiss, she looks at him shyly and said. That's why. You've managed to stole my heart, you idiot. Naruto smiling warmly at her and embrace her, so that she is nuzzling in his chest then said. If I win then you will grant me one wish. Lisbeth looks up at his smiling face and said softly. Okay. With that they falls asleep in each other's embrace. In the morning. Lisbeth opens her eyes and seeing her head is on someone's chest. Then she remembered what happened yesterday and feels so happy. Naruto opens his eyes too and looks down at her. How was your sleep, Lise? Lisbeth just smiled brightly and said. Oh, because I've obtained the new pillow, the sleep was excellent. Naruto rolls his eyes then noticed something on the ground and told Lisbeth to move away, so he could stood up. Lisbeth just look at his back unpleased, that she lost her pillow. Naruto picks up the object and shows to Lisbeth. Look at this. Lisbeth come near and see the crystal in Naruto's hand. She press at the stats and it writes, crystallite ingot. It seems that the dragon eats the crystals and creating this in its stomach. Because of that no one able to obtain this rare crystal. That also means that this is a dragon's nest. So sooner or later it will return to this place. Just as Naruto said that they heard a roar above them. They looks up to see a dragon is flying down. Naruto immediately reacts and slash down to the ground to create a mist to fool a dragon. Then he hold Lisbeth bridal style and begin to run up the walls. Hold on me tightly, said Naruto running up the walls. Lisbeth just nod her head then tightly embrace on his neck. Naruto used the chance that the dragon still hasn't noticed them to jump on his neck. The dragon immediately the extra weight and begin to fly up to shake off the weight. We are outside, said Naruto when they are out of the dragon nest. Then he jump out of the dragon and now they falling freely. Lisbeth just looks in awe at Naruto the whole time. As they continue to fall, Lisbeth decide to shout. You know what, Naruto? I love you. Because of the wind affecting the hearing, Naruto can't hear anything and ask back. What did you said? I can't hear anything, shouted Naruto, brought his hand to his ear. Lisbeth just laughing heartily and embrace Naruto. It's nothing, shout Lisbeth. Naruto just hugged back smiling warmly. Floor 48. Linda's. When Lisbeth and Naruto return, Naruto send Kirito a message that they have managed to collect the materials. So they are standing at the forge place in Linda's now. Lisbeth has heat the metals to a certain temperature and now concentrate on forging the sword she imagine. Just image the best sword that I can forge. Remember the kiss Naruto gave you, remember the time we spent at the bottom of a dragon nest, and remember the bet. I can do this. Lisbeth slamming the hammer in the metal. After some time, the metals begun to glow and a sword appeared in its place. It was the sword of turquoise color. Lisbeth opens its stats and said, its name is Dark Repulsor. Naruto and Kirito look at the sword in wonder. Try it out, said Lisbeth, turned to Kirito. Kirito nod his head, then did some experimental swing and nod satisfied. Wait, now time for the bet, said Naruto, unsheathed the Kusanagi. Naruto come to Kirito and said he put the sword back on the table. Lisbeth gulped nervously as Naruto raised Kusanagi up. Then he slashed down at Dark Repulsor. But nothing happened, there is not even a scratch on Dark Repulsor. Naruto sheathed his Kusanagi back and turned to Lisbeth smiling warmly and said, it seems you've won the bet, future wife of mine. Lisbeth was so happy, that she jumped in Naruto's arms and don't let go of him. At that moment, Asuna decide to show up. She immediately rush in and hug Lisbeth tightly. Liz, I was so worried about you. I couldn't send messages or tracks you on the map. Where have you been last night? Asked Asuna tearfully. Sorry, I am stuck in dungeon with that guy yesterday, said Lisbeth pointing at Naruto. Asuna turned to Naruto and her expression changed to murderous. Oh, I almost forgot about this troublemaker. What do you think when you go facing that boss on the 60th floor, huh? Naruto just rolls his eyes and said, hi, I already know my fault. Please forgive me, oh great Asuna-sama. Lisbeth looks surprised that Asuna knew Naruto and asked, do you two know each other? Yeah, me, Kirito and Naruto met each other during the boss hunt on the first floor. Kirito remembered something and decided to ask, wait, what do you? She is your future wife, Naruto. Lisbeth just looks away blushing. It's as you heard. During the time at the bottom of the dragon nest, we became closer. Then Liz proposed to change the condition of the bet. If she win, then I will marry her. If I win, then she will grant me one wish, explained Naruto, scratching his head. So you guys are gonna marry? Congratulations. Asked Asuna, looking at Lisbeth then Naruto. She sees they both nod their head shyly and congratulate them. Ahem. How much for the sword? Asked Kirito, feeling this situation weird. Because you are friend of my fiancé. I will give you that for free, said Lisbeth, then come near Naruto to embrace him. He just hold to her waist and nuzzle at her head. So when do you decide to married? Asked Asuna, smiling cheerfully. Because Naruto will soon join the front line, we will do that tomorrow at some village, said Lisbeth, turned to Naruto smiling happily. Well, then we will leave you two for now. We will come for your wedding though, said Asuna. With that she pushed Kirito to the door, then left Naruto and Lisbeth alone. Naruto and Lisbeth come to the bench and sit on it. Liz put her head on Naruto's shoulder and smiling softly. Still can't believe that I win the bet and tomorrow we will be married. I never thought that I would marry anyone in this game, let alone Hitokiri Batasai himself, said Lisbeth. Look ahead. Me too, can't believe that I will marry someone I've dedicated for executing the PK guilds and players, you know. So I thought that I will be alone forever, but my meeting with you had changed my whole life. Every time I closed my eyes trying to sleep, the faces of those I killed always appeared before me. They always said the same thing, that I will receive punishments for my sins. But with you around, when we sleep in each other's embrace, I feels at ease. The nightmares just erase themselves, said Naruto, turning to Liz. You will join frontline soon, right? If you need to repair the equipments. Also end this game, so that we can be a real couple. I will be waiting for you, said Liz. Leans in Naruto's face. Yeah, I promise that with Kirito, Asuna and the clearing party, we will clear this game. I will try to come as often as I can, said Naruto and capture her lips. After a while, they broke the kiss and Lisbeth turned back to leans in Naruto's arms. Naruto embraces her waist and hold her. You know, when Asuna came and said that she knew I was really scared back there. Scared that I will lose you to her, said Liz smile sadly. Then she bright up and said. But then you remind of the bet. It caused all my worries to blow away. Naruto nuzzled his face to her hair and said. I don't dent the fact that Asuna is attractive. But I love you and she is interested in that moody black cloth swordsman. Then Lisbeth stand up and turn to Naruto to ask. So where are we gonna married? Naruto think for a while and said. There is actually a very nice place at the 22th floor. We will go to the village and get married. Time skip. Floor. 22. Village. Naruto and Lisbeth is standing before the elder NPC as he declared them husband and wife. Then Naruto kiss Lisbeth. Kirito and Asuna standing behind them clapping and smiling at the new couple. Time skip. Floor. 22. Night time. Naruto and Lisbeth is lying on their bed facing each other smiling softly. I love you, said Lisbeth caress Naruto's cheek. I love you too, said Naruto touching her hand that caressing his cheek. Then they close their eyes and fall asleep with a smile on their face. Floor. 22. Lake of Oath. Naruto and Lisbeth is currently walking to the Lake of Oath holding each other's hands and smiling happily. The villagers seeing the new married couple walking past them, begin to congratulate them and wish them happiness. Naruto and Lisbeth just bowing down and said thank them. Suddenly, Lisbeth decide to ask. When will you return to the front line? Naruto turned to her and said. When Kirito and Asuna calls me then, I will join them. Suddenly, Lisbeth receive a message from Asuna, that Kirito had managed to find S-classmate, the Ragu rabbit and invite Naruto and her so they can eat together. Do you want to go, Liz? Asked Naruto looking at his wife. Well, it's an S-class meat. So I'd like to taste it. Well, I am not recommend you to go to them. Why? Asked Lisbeth curiously. I want to give that dumber Kirito to realize what Asuna feels to him. With this meat now, they can sit at the table enjoy a good food and talk to themselves about their feelings, explained Naruto putting his hands to the back of his head. And I thought my dear husband is an idiot, said Lisbeth rolls her eyes to her side. Oi, what the heck is supposed to mean? Yelled Naruto annoyingly. Lisbeth jump in Naruto's arms and kiss him. After a while, she broke a kiss smiling brightly and said. Nothing. I am just so happy right now. But still I'd like to taste that Ragu rabbit too. Naruto just sigh and said. If you want to eat it do bad. I can find it for you. Lisbeth's eyes immediately shine like a star and hold to Naruto's hand and said. Really? You can really catch the Ragu rabbit? Naruto just back away a little at her, first time seeing such expression on her face. Yeah. With my luck, I am sure I can catch it. But I will need to go there alone. As it's located at the 57th floor, so it will be dangerous for you to come with me, said Naruto looking at his wife. Lisbeth's eyes has not stopped shining and she said. Doesn't matter. You just need to bring the Ragu rabbit's meat and I will be satisfied. But if it's an S-class meat then the skill required for preparing it must high too, retort Naruto. Lisbeth just puffed her chest out proudly smirking and said. Then you are the lucky one my dear husband. As I have managed to max my cooking skill already. Naruto looks at her impressed. Well, then I will go hunt for that rabbit, while you can buy some things you like okay? Said Naruto and transfer a massive amount of coal to her. Lisbeth just looks at the amount wide eyes then turn to Naruto and ask. How do you manage to get this much cash? You probably the richest person I know. Naruto just scratched the back of his head and said. Well, because of my luck, I've managed to obtain many rare items. So when I sells them at the auction, they were sold at a very impressive price each. That's why I am so load. Lisbeth screams happily and embrace Naruto. I am really a lucky girl, not only my husband is one if the best in terms of fighting, but he is also load. Naruto just laugh hastily then turned to Liz and kiss her. When he broke the kiss, he said. I will try to return as soon as I can. Don't worry okay. Lisbeth blushed at the kiss and nod her head softly. With that Naruto activate the crystal to teleport to the 74th floor. Floor. 74. Forest. Naruto appeared at the forest and began to walk around the forest to search the rabbit. So far he didn't find anything. So he decided to go to the dungeon near there to train himself a little. Dungeon. Naruto cut down one monster after another with basic Batojutsu. After a while, he decided to rest and sit down leans on the wall nearby. Suddenly, he heard footsteps coming to his way. He immediately used his hide skill to hide himself behind the walls. 10 men wearing black clothes with hood covering their face appeared and looking for something. Naruto looks at the hand of one of the man that raised his hand up and noticed the image of a black laughing coffin there. Laughing coffin. What are they doing here? Thought Naruto narrowed his eyes. I heard that the black swordsman was here. But it seems we are late, said one member. Naruto hearing that widened his eyes and thought. Kirito was here. Of course, how else can he obtain the ragu rabbit if not training here? Well, what about the Batasai? Will we hunt him too? He is a solo player as well, so he will be an easy prey, said the second member. Don't need to do that. He will come after us eventually. He is a PK hunter after all, said, what apparent to be a leader of the guild. Suddenly, Naruto received the signal of that message was sent. So he was startled and stepped to a stone caused some noise. The laughing coffin have heard the sound and turned to that direction. The leader then said, well, we have a rat that likes to eavesdrops. Whoever you are, come out. Ach, said Naruto and decided to come out of his hiding place. The party looks surprises at the presence of Naruto. Oh, what is the infamous Hitokiri Batasai doing here? Not hunting for I hope, said the leader. I came here in search for the ragu rabbit. Never expect to meet you guys here. But if the situation calls for this, then I want you guys either disband the guild or I will eliminate you all here, said Naruto looking seriously. Ha, do you actually think you have a slightest chance to come out of here alive? We are not like those losers in Titan's Hand, we were all the former solo players. But the Po-san gathered us to form a PK guild. Even with your skill you won't survive here, said one member confidently. You guys didn't just thought that I've stayed the same way I was, didn't you? That time with Titan's Hand, my training was not complete, but it's the other matter now that I've complete my training. Why go you think I can hold this sword in my hand now? Said Naruto then unsheathing the Kusanagi and point at the party. The legendary sword, Kusanagi no Tsurugi. So you really did have it. Then after we take care of I will take that sword for myself, said the leader. I've given you two options, but you guys seem to choose the second option. Alright, I am not going to hold back then. With that said Naruto charge at them. The party also moving forward to intercept him. One member charge ahead holding a battle axe and perform an whirlwind. Naruto jumps back and used Doryusen to knock the axe user away. Suddenly, he saw the shadow behind him and jump up to avoid vertical arc. One member seeing Naruto in midair decide to use this chance and jumps up to use a valance. But Naruto see that coming and use Ryutsuzen, Zan to stab him in the head, preventing the opponent before he can use the skill, thus killing him instantly. The rest seeing one of their comrade has fallen, enraged and all charge at Naruto. Naruto jumps back at the wall and use it as a step stone to push him towards at his enemies and perform Ryukansen, Arashi to cut down 3 more. The leader rush at Naruto with impressive speed and use horizontal square to hit Naruto in the back. His speed surprised Naruto, so he couldn't manage to dodge in time. Naruto feels the strike on his back and jump backwards and touch his back. You didn't seems that tough as you think. I've managed to strike you means you are not as cool as you think you are. Everybody, let's finish him off, said the leader that shout to fire up the remain members. They seems to fire up and surround Naruto. Naruto looks around him and glared. The 6th laughing coffin members rush at him and all use Sonic Leap. Naruto's face was shadowed by his bang as he just stand there. The enemies all smirk think that Naruto had given up. Suddenly, Naruto sheath back the Kusanagi with such speed and force that it create a sonic boom to temporarily stuns his opponents. Hiten Mitsurugi Ru Umaizen. Then he charged forward at the opponent before him in Batojutsu stance. Hiten Mitsurugi Ru Soryusen. 1, said Naruto as he slashed at his opponent, destroyed him. Then he rushed at the opponent on his right. Hiruzen. 2. The opponent was cut down instantly while gasping. But before he disappeared he still manages to see Naruto's face before his death. Naruto's face was emotionless and his eyes is gleaming dangerously with bloodlust. Then he turned to the third member that was frozen by fear as he looks at Naruto's eyes. Naruto turned to him, change his stance to normal kendo stance. Hiten Mitsurugi Ru Kujoyusen. 3. With that, all 9 vital spots was hit on that member. He just managed to gasp in surprise and shattered in blue. Polygon. The remain 3 members looks at Naruto and stutter. He is not human. He is a demon in human flesh. Then they used the teleport crystal to escape. After they left, Naruto's expression returned to normal and he sighed. So troublesome. Who would have thought that I actually will meet those guys here? But first I need to see the message. With that he opens his mailbox and read the message. The message said that Kirito and Asuna decide to party up to train on 74th floor and called him also. So it's time to be on the front line again, huh? Muttered Naruto and decide to go back to the city through a forest. On the way back, he decide to use his searching skills to search for the rabbit. Suddenly, he noticed something in the bush. When it came out of the bush, he noticed that it was a ragu rabbit. There you are, muttered Naruto and used Usozen, Garami to cut off its head in instant. Then he came near to pick up the item. Then he proceed to go to the city. Floor 74. City. Naruto decide to buy his wife some accessories as a gift. He went to the store and bought one necklace with a ruby on it and a bracelet. Time skip. Floor 22. Naruto and Lisbeth's house. Lisbeth is waiting for her husband to return home. She is worried as he is still not returned. Then the door open and Naruto step in. Lisbeth immediately leap to him and embrace him. I was so worried. What's taking you so long? Asked Lisbeth holding his face. There is some trouble on the way. But I've deal with them, said Naruto scratching his head. Then Lisbeth noticed that his indicator is red. And narrow her eyes and ask. You've killed someone again. Who was it? Laughing coffin. They tried to take me out though failed. But their leader is pretty tough to manage to strike me at the back, said Naruto narrow his eyes remembering that moment. Lisbeth leave him to the bed sit down and looks at him with worried eyes. How do you feel now? I am fine. It seems I've gotten used to this, said Naruto clenching and unclenching his knuckle while looking at it. You shouldn't have gotten used to it. It's bad. Anyway, did you manage to find a ragu rabbit? Naruto smirk and open his inventory and take out the ragu rabbit meal. Also I brought you some presents, said Naruto and take out the necklace and a bracelet. Lisbeth looks at the presents then kiss Naruto. When they broke the kiss, she smiles softly at him. You are so sweet Naruto. I will return to front line tomorrow. Kirito had send me a message that he and Asuna has party up and call me to join him to train at the 74th floor. Though there is a chance that we will find a boss room, said Naruto looking at Liz. Well, let's cook the ragu rabbit, said Lisbeth standing up and go to the kitchen. She put all the ingredient from her inventory and begin to cut them. Then she put all the ingredients to the bowl and put them in a stove. After waiting several minutes for it to cook, she calls Naruto to the table and they began to eat it. After the meal, Naruto and Lisbeth decide for a little night walk. Just be careful on the front line, okay? I know you are strong, but still, said Lisbeth turning to Naruto with worried face. Don't worry. I will be with Kirito and Asuna the whole time. Just wait for the good news, that we've cleared the game, said Naruto and brought a thumbs up. Time skip. Floor 74. Camdet. Naruto appeared right in front of the gate of Camdet. Then he looks ahead and nearly falling to the ground laughing. On the ground, Asuna is lying above Kirito, so that her figure hide his face. Kirito is still sleepy and he noticed something soft in his hand, thus he began grope it and try to understand what is it. Asuna begin to scream with a red face and strike Kirito to wall. That moment Naruto can't hold himself back any longer and begin to laugh holding to his stomach. Then he rub his eyes and his vision begin cleared. He looks to the ground and see Asuna covering herself with a red angry face. Then he heard a laugher and turned to the left to see Naruto is laughing hysterically. Just then he realized what he had done. Ha ha ha. I see you has grown bolder during the time I absence, Kirito. You really had the balls of steel to grope Asuna in front this crowd, said Naruto trying to suppress his laughing. Then he receive a glare from Kirito and Asuna. Suddenly, the teleport circle appear, Asuna seeing that immediately run to Kirito to hide behind his back. Naruto turned to the circle to see who it is. From the circle came a man with long hair in a uniform of Knights of Blood Oaths. Asuna-sama, you shouldn't be here. Let's head back to the guild. No way, I don't need you to follow everywhere I go. And why the heck do you stand at my house so early in the morning, said Asuna, annoyed, still hiding behind Kirito. Naruto looks at the man and feels a bad vibe coming from him and narrow his eyes. I thought that you would do something like this. So I decide to watch over you from Selmberg for the last month, said the man. Asuna retort that the commander didn't order to do that. But the man just said that is his duty to protect her. Then he come near Kirito and forcefully dragging Asuna from Kirito's back. But Kirito won't allow that and grabbed the man's hand, then turned to the man and said, "Sorry, but today I will accompany you, Vice Commander. I will be responsible for her safety. So you can return back to guild now." The man freeing his hand and shout at Kirito, "There is no way a rookie player like you can protect her. I am the member of the Honorable Guild Knights of Blood Oaths. I am the one that should protect her." Kirito just narrowed his eyes and said, "I can do a much better job in protecting her than you." The man feels enraged and challenged Kirito to a duel. "Then proves to me that you are worthy by winning this duel." Kirito looks surprised at the challenge, then looks at Asuna worriedly. Asuna just nod her head. "Oi, Kirito, just kick his ass already," shout Naruto. Only then the crowd notice the presence of Naruto and begin to murmur to themselves. "Look, the Hitokiri Batasai is here too. What is he doing here? Did he plan to kill someone?" Kirito accepts the challenge to unsheathing his sword from his back. They wait for the timer to pass and charge at each other. Kirito using vertical to slash up while the man also use vertical but slash down. When the two sword clash against each other, the man's sword has broke. The man fell to his knees in shock, then Kirito said that he can take another weapon out or called it a day. The man immediately took out the other weapon and charged forward. But a shadow appeared before him with a blade near his neck. "You have lost this duel. Now get lost," said Naruto looking down at the man, his eyes gleaming dangerously. The crowd seeing Naruto suddenly appeared at the duel and murmur to themselves again. The Hitokiri Batasai has interfered. Is he actually after the members of Knights of Blood Oaths? Maybe he want to capture Asuna-san, then do dirty things to her. Naruto hearing that, lost his dangerous face and slammed himself to the ground. The man glared at Kirito hatefully, but when glancing at Naruto feeling a great amount of fear. Then Asuna came and ordered to him to return to the guild and relieve him from the duty to protect her, as a vice commander of the guild. The man just glared hatefully at Kirito one last time and go to teleport place and teleport away. Naruto come near Asuna and ask her, "Who was that guy? He is Karadiel, the member of Knights of Blood Oath like me, though he can be annoying. I don't like him. Just looking at him gives me a bad vibe," said Naruto seriously. Then Asuna turned to Naruto and asked, "How is Liz? Also, why did you guys didn't come when I invite to taste the ragu rabbit?" "Well, we actually have a personal reason not to come. About the ragu rabbit, I already tasked it," said Naruto, then wink at Asuna. "How do you manage to find it? I thought it was very rare." Ask Asuna with wide eyes. Kirito just looks at Naruto with a tick in his forehead and said, "We are talking about Naruto here, Asuna. His lux is off the charts. I am sure that Lisbeth is the happiest wife on earth now that she became his wife. As Naruto is the richest person in this game." Asuna looks at Naruto with wide eyes. Naruto just close his eyes smirking and show a victory sign. "Anyway, let's go guys," said Kirito. With that they proceed to go to the labyrinth. Floor 74. Labyrinth. Naruto, Kirito and Asuna is fighting a group of skeleton monsters. "Man, to have people with impressive skills really helps out a lot in training," said Kirito looking as Naruto and Aduna decapitate the monsters. "Kirito-kun. Switch," said Asuna, and Kirito switch with her. After a while, they decide to find some other training spot. Suddenly, Kirito find a huge door before him. Naruto and Asuna looks at Kirito, to see his reactions. "Do you think this what I think?" asked Naruto looking at Kirito. "Probably. We can check out the room if you guys want. The monsters from boss room will only remain in boss room, they won't go outside. But just take out the teleport crystals just in case something went wrong." With that all brought out the teleport crystals. Then Naruto and Kirito pushes the door to open it. The room was dark at first. Then suddenly the blue flames appeared on the torch one after another. When all the torch finished to light up, they managed to see the appearance of the boss. It was Gleam Eyes, one of the strongest boss of the game. They looks at his HP bar and feels even more horror. There is 4 bars of HP there. Gleam eyes roaring loudly cause the wind to blow harshly. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.